moment. And the whole purpose of this is to just kind of chat with me, to do a little bit of meditating with me and a little bit of creating with me. So, chat, meditate, and create with me, okay? Again, my name is Bonnie Anahata, art therapy, alignment coach, and talent alchemist, artistic talent alchemist. And basically, what I do is help you tap into and stay connected to the divine artistry that you came here with. So I'm usually for the wavered artist or the hidden artist, the closet artist, the people like that who just kind of want to tap into their artistry, but don't necessarily know how, or who need help, because sometimes I need it as well, who need help with prioritizing and practicing things of our artistry. So this is a space where we can come in and kind of set this time aside to practice and create together. Okay, hold on. I'm almost done writing my what's it called, topics and stickers and stuff. Okay, chat. Okay, yes. So how is everyone doing on this beautiful Monday? Happy full moon. Happy full moon in Gemini. Was it just me, or like, honestly, my rising sign is in Gemini, so I have a lot of overthinking that goes on within me on a regular basis. I have a lot that goes on within me on a regular basis that I have to learn how to calm down on a daily basis. And this is why I also do, a lot of things artistry wise, because I gotta calm this Gemini rising mind down. But it seems like when Gemini is within the transits or within the planets currently, that it really affects a lot of people. So I want to know how has it affected you all? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me how has it affected me? Okay. Chat, maintain, create with me. Okay. You're sad and scared, yeah. Is it bringing you a lot of like, hi everybody that has joined me? I know. Oh gosh, my phone needs charging. Okay, hold on. Hold up a bit. My people on let me see this. Hold up a bit. So the people that say they are sad, and that is something that the Gemini energy can bring on, like just that sadness and that feeling of like you so overwhelmed. Like it brings in a lot of ideas a lot of the times. That Gemini energy, it's like it brings you a lot of ideas, but it doesn't. It overwhelms you because of the amount of ideas that it brings on. It overwhelms you because you're trying to take a hold and grab a hold of all of these ideas and all of these things that are going through your head in this Gemini energy. And it is so much that's, especially during a full moon. Hey, especially during a full moon in Gemini, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much coming up. I don't know if this is coming up within me to tell me to move on it, or I don't know if this is coming up within me to tell me to, just let it go, release it, because during the full moon you are releasing a lot, right? During the full moon, it's a good release energy. So with the Gemini, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I to do with all of this shit that's coming up? Am I supposed to sit on it? And as a creative, that's why it's important to tap into our artistry on a daily basis so that we can understand what's coming up within us, put it down on paper, understand where we can use it, and not even understand where we can use it, but first, if it's bothering us, if it has come up within us, that means it's been shoved down. It's been that we've shoved it down and it's needing to come back up to either be addressed or to either be released. So as an artist, you want to be able to use that energy that you feel that is coming up, those emotions that you feel are coming up, or all of those thoughts that you feel are coming up, but you want to use them strategically as an artist, just by first by getting it out on paper and by writing it all down. Like first by writing it all down in your journal and writing out your thoughts, writing out what's going through your head, writing out what is bothering you. And then this is why for me, I naturally set myself up in a space to just like kind of free write and create. So like every morning I journal, right? Every morning I journal naturally. But I always kind of set myself up as if I'm about to write a poem, or as if I'm about to write out a script, or as if I'm about to write out a monologue. Because whatever has come up, and most of the things that are like heavy on you that's coming up during full moon energy is going to come up when you first wake up. So whatever is coming up for me and I go to write it down in my journal, I naturally kind of transition it into writing a poem with it. You know what I mean? So I use that energy. I use that energy that is coming up, and I'm saying, hey, let me release it at least into, maybe I might not share it, but at least I'm releasing it. And that's what is the great thing about being an artist, is that you have embedded tools within you to be able to release the energy that comes up, to be able to channel and transmute the emotions that come up into something that is creative, and not just release it by like spouting off and freaking cussing somebody out, or or getting into an argument, or raging out and hitting somebody or something. As an artist, we have those embedded tools to use strategically, so we don't have to necessarily do that. Because I can rage out on paper, I can rage out in my poetry, I can rage out in this music, I can rage out in this script. You know what I'm saying? I can rage out if you're a visual artist, if you're a painter, you can rage out in your painting. That's where that's why it's important to create a regular routine of delving into your artistry, right? Because it wasn't, even though I talk about a lot people not wanting to. So who I'm here for the ones who have just joined, who I say that I'm always here for, is the hidden artists, those closet artists, or the waiver artists who kind of dip their toe in and out of the industry, or they've been maybe turned off of the artistic or entertainment industries because of the level of expectation that it places on them. And so that's who I'm here for. And a lot of the times, those people we lose sight of, and I say we because I have been that wavered artist, but we lose sight of what is important, and that's the artistry. We feel like because we're not in the industry that we don't have to keep a regular priority or regular routine or regular practice of indulging and engaging in our artistry. And that's how we're losing sight of ourselves. Not only are we losing sight of ourselves when we do that, but we're losing our connection to what is actually closest to God, because those our artistic abilities within us were embedded in us divinely for a reason, to connect to the source and to connect to ourselves and who we innately are. And that is a tool of healing in itself. Being able to connect to yourself and who you innately are is a natural tool of healing. So I wanted to talk about today just like using the tools that we have within us, using what you already have within you, using what you got to feel what you want. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that famous line. Look, the line is from Players Club, right? The line is from Players Club. Y'all might not be familiar with that. Y'all might be familiar with that. But the line is you got to use what you got to get what you want. So I am flipping it and I'm saying you have to use what you got to feel what you want. Okay, and what that means for me is that you have to use the tools that are already embedded within you. See, a lot of we have so with a lot of this new age, spirituality tools that are going on, and the trendy witches that are going on, and the trendiness of spirituality and spiritual tools and healing tools. A lot of us who actually really resonate with those tools, we actually put those tools on a pedestal a lot. We put those tools on a pedestal to feel like we need them in order to heal. We absolutely need them. And if we didn't have them, those tools, if we didn't have those sound bowls, if we didn't have, those tuning forks, if we didn't have those crystals, if we didn't have those healing tools, we feel like we can't heal or we can't do it within ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some crystals. Don't get me wrong. Like, well, hold up. Where is my, don't get me wrong. I love me a tuning fork. Like, don't get it twisted. The point that I'm trying to make is attaching to it to where you feel like you need it, attaching to something outside of yourself to feel like you absolutely need it, to feel like you absolutely need it, and without it you wouldn't be able to heal. That's giving something else outside of you the power. And so I'm just here to say, utilizing and finding and understanding that you already have these type of vibratory tools already within your body. And it's just about learning yourself and tapping into yourself to understand is it a point, like to understand what's the point of this particular artistic talent that you have. You understand it by practicing it. You understand it by learning it. You understand it by kind of experimenting with it, right? And when you understand that, you don't put these outside healing tools so much on a pedestal. Yes, they're great, and they might be catalysts to go along with what you already have in your healing journey. They're great catalysts to go along with it, but they should not be an attachment or something you feel like you absolutely need or you couldn't manage. Because if you were out, I've heard somebody say this before. I forgot what it is. I forgot who said this, but it was a great point. If you were out in the desert, who was it? Melanie, the spiritual doula. That's who it was. Melanie, the spiritual doula. Okay, so if you were out on a desert and you didn't have anything, you didn't have any tools, you didn't have any healing tools, what would you do to heal yourself? If you didn't have any crystals, if you didn't have any sound bowls, if you didn't have any tuning forks, if you didn't have any of that, what would you do to heal yourself? Well, if you tap into your purposed divine artistry, you'll know the tools that you have to heal yourself out on that desert. You'll know these tools already. So if you continue to practice your divine artistry in the talents, all of these talents that you have, they are for nothing. Baby, that closet singer, I see you. That closet singer, that shower singer, that singing it feels good to you for a reason. because it's one of your embedded healing tools that you have within. So you don't necessarily need any outside music. You don't necessarily need any other singer to help you feel better. You don't need any songs to help you feel better, though they're great and they're great catalysts. And it's something that feels good to utilize, but you don't need that, because the only thing you need is within you. The only thing you need, if you were out on that desert by your lonesome and didn't have anything but your hands, your body parts, and the things that are already embedded within you, if you didn't have any of that, you know what you have in your artistic talents. And so practicing these artistic talents on a daily basis is how you're able to strategically utilize them and strategically tap into them to connect to downloads from spirit, to connect to downloads from source, to connect to parts of yourself that you may have lost, and also to heal people. Like when you get to the point of sharing and maybe wanting to go into or back into the artistic or entertainment industries, that's a ending byproduct of what you have already tapped into from the beginning, what you've already tapped into at the top of the process, that tapping into your innate talents that were created within you for a reason. Okay, so let's kind of bump down and take these external tools off that pedestal. These external tools, these crystals, these sound bowls, these tuning forks, they are great, and I'm not saying not use them, because baby, I'm going to use them when I would like to use them. However, I know I know that the most valuable tool, and that the tool that is going to hit for me every time, the tool that is going to actually create a higher resonance within me amongst any tool outside of me, I know is my embedded and innate tools that are within me. So how do you know, basically what those tools are? Well, first of all, you know by what you naturally did as a child. That's number one. The things that you naturally were interested in, engaged in, always doing and practicing and participating in naturally as a child, that made you feel good, that was just so fucking fun, that you can get lost in, that made you lose sight of practicality or any idea of practicality that you might have had as a kid, because of course kids don't really have no idea of practicality. But whatever that was as a kid, the minuscule thing, if it was doodling on a piece of paper, that is a part of your embedded and innate tool for healing. But it's really all, and most creatives, most artistic creatives have a lot of different talents. And that's a lot of the time, that's our problem, and why we don't actually utilize them or practice them a lot, is because we have so many talents that we don't know which one to tap into. We have so many talents, and we don't want to feel like we're scatterbrained, or we don't want to look like we're scatterbrained, hopping from this talent to another. But actually, you were supposed to do that. You were created to do that. But you were created to do that strategically, though, utilizing those talents in the right moments for what hits for you at certain moments. And I talked about this on the last live that I had last week. I talked about this when it comes to knowing which talent to use for the moment. And it really just depends on, number one, the emotion that you're feeling or that you're dealing with. And number two, how that particular talent responds to that particular emotion. So the emotion, and then the actual how that talent responds or resonates with that. Why I'm so damn loud? Okay, well, you can get up on. Hey, Mr. Savage Boy, I'm loud because I am a loud artist. I am a loud artistic artist that uses my voice, baby. You gonna hear my voice, and if you don't, you can get up on. Thanks. Hi, bye. Everyone, this type of voice, this is the type of a voice, this is what a aligned throat chakra sounds like. This is what an aligned throat chakra sounds like. This is what it sounds like when you're tapped into your authentic voice, okay? When you're tapped into the voice that God created you to give you, right? When you're tapped into your purposeful voice and you're not afraid to share it with others, right? So that the others who, and you know what it does? It either shuts out or shoves away the people that are not meant for you, or scares away the people that are not meant for you, and then it also announces for the people who are actually for you. So don't be that person out there who may have gotten comments like that before when it comes to your voice and your loud voice. And like I tell my daughter all the time, like, it's okay to be loud, you know. When it comes to that sense of voice, you having your voice, don't let nobody shut down your voice. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to suffer from it. You're going to suffer innately from it. And I promise you this, the person that is making fun of you for your innate voice or your loud voice or your boisterousness or your extraness, they're projecting, baby, because they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel good about their voice. They don't feel good about, you know, they don't feel confident in expressing themselves, and they have serious throat chakra, you know, imbalance. Anybody that, you know, gets something like that, that is what I want you to understand and tap into for yourself, to make yourself to understand that ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, baby? So when it comes to your own, that's mine, but when it comes to your own innate talents and thank you so much. When it comes to your own like innate talents and abilities, you gotta really just play with them and practice them, and just, you know, you got to continue to practice them on a daily basis so that you can know which one to utilize. But you definitely want to tap into the small, subtle things that, thank you. You want to tap into the small, subtle things that make you feel good and that resonates with your body and that resonates with your spirit. And I know, like, for me, it's always mostly been acting that really resonated with my spirit. And then it got to poetry that really resonated with me, to the point where I use poetry I use poetry like on a daily basis, like journaling. Like my journaling is me writing poetry pretty much. And, you know, then I really got to, I've always, along with me being an actor and being in theater, I've always like sung a little bit and done musical theater, but I never like actually fully pursued like singing or made singing like a priority talent that I would practice. It would just kind of be like an extra side of, you know, my acting, right? But within these past couple of years, Spirit has been guiding me towards more so using my singing, because it actually, that is what makes me feel good. I talked about last week, like when it, like my singing, like if I'm feeling really low, if I feel like I'm weak energetically, or if I'm feeling like maybe even depressed, or if I'm feeling, you know, maybe even ill or something like that, singing is what will really get me up and like revive me and like bring me back from the dead. almost, almost singing is what would do that or whatever. Singing is what would lift me up out of that like lowness and that weakness. But acting is something that would like kind of like give me a little bit of extra, like a little bit of extra, kind of like almost a little bit like how you do an energy drink, like how you take an energy drink, give you a little extra boost throughout the day. That's what acting kind of does for me. Acting helps me, gives me a little push throughout the day. That's how it resonates with me and my spirit and my, my internal body. And poetry is like a release for me. So if I feel like I got something on my chest, that I might, can't say to somebody yet, or that, maybe we're no longer in this particular setting or relationship to where I can tell them or have a conversation with them, but I feel like I need to get something off of my chest. Or even as an empath, if I feel like something is on me, but it ain't my energy, it's somebody else's energy, and I need to release this, poetry is really good at helping me release like that. Also, dancing is a really good help me release too. Um, and this is what I mean by using your artistic talents strategically and using them where they hit right, correctly, utilizing them so that they're able to have the resonance within your body that they were destined for, that they were purposed for, to have that sense of resonance in your body for healing, for self-regulation, for making you feel better. So these past couple years though, like spirit has been telling me that, and let me just say this before I say that. When I keep saying like, spirit has been telling me, yeah, I tap into spirit to guide my artistry. I tap in like spirit, like my artistry I use as a meditation. And that's also what I mean by keep reaching for these outside, new age tools, although they might be great, but you don't have to keep reaching for these external tools because you have tools within you. Even when it comes to meditation, everybody is not, meditation don't hit for everybody the way that it does for some people. At least the way that most people meditate doesn't. And I know for me, when I started meditating, the regular, tools of meditation were really good, and it actually worked really good for me, and I was really good at getting outside of my body and whatever. But then I got to the point where I was like, I had so many, especially when I got to the point where I got pregnant, I had got so many emotions that had came up within me that it was just so much. And then my Gemini rising mind was going and going and going. And it was just so much. But I realized that was because I had to use expressive ways of meditating, utilizing expressive ways of meditating, like dancing, like chanting, like, doing things like that. So yes, when I keep saying spirit, spirit told me, yeah, I utilize, my intuition and my guidance from spirit to guide my artistry. And that's why I call it divine artistry. And I do that because, first of all, that's what it was put in us for. It was put in us to utilize as a communicative tool to the divine, to the most high, to source, whatever you call it, within your spiritual journey. These artistic talents were placed within us to be a liaison or a communication tool for that. So I'm always going to say, spirit told me to do this when it came to my artistry. Spirit told me to do that because that is the basis of my artistry every time, because that is the purpose of my artistry. So here within the past couple of years, spirit has been telling me to use more of my voice. And while I first thought that Spirit was trying to say, just use your like voice to speak to people, that's what I thought Spirit was talking about first. But then I realized Spirit was talking about, no, use your singing voice. Use your singing voice more. You're singing, and your as you continue to tap into your singing voice, it's actually very healing for you. Not only is it healing for you, when you get to that comfortable space, it is also healing for others, your singing voice. And I'm like, what? And mind you, I'm not like, I'm still building confidence in my singing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm still building that sense of understanding of what my voice is in my singing and stuff like that. But I listened to Spirit and I started using it, and I just felt how singing really like vibrates and resonates within my body. As opposed to acting, like singing, I can truly get lost. Singing is really, I can't use acting as a meditation, but singing, I can use singing as a meditation because I can legit go into a trance when it comes to singing. And understand, again, this is not because I am the greatest singer in the world, but it is because I have a voice that was embedded in me that the creator put into me to be utilized for my sense of self-soothing, my sense of self-regulating, my sense of healing. And so that's what we all have to do. We have to tap into these little minuscule talents that we didn't feel like was that big of a deal. Okay, yeah, I can sing a little bit. I got a little voice, whatever, But no, like use that strategically. Use that. So as I continue to follow Spirit's guidance, I ended up, well, as soon as I started following Spirit guidance and, doing more singing and doing more putting my voice out there, I came across, actually it found me like a chanting choir. It's like a soul chanting choir by, well, her name is the Jedi Nas on Instagram, but Nas Khalid of Energy Healing Studio. And it's called Sacred Soul Chant Choir. And so I joined that choir, and it just actually really helped me, tap more into just my singing voice more, on top of me understanding that, dang, singing really feels good within my body. Singing really does something to me. My body really responds to me singing. My body really lifts when it comes to me singing. My body really elevates and raises its vibration in response to my singing. And so that is what we all have to do. We have to all tap into these little minute talents, or to these talents that we thought were so minute, for our healing, for our raising of our vibration, and for our greater good. And I'm going to go into, and I'm going to teach you a little bit of, I'm going to show you like kind of a meditation and also like a little exercise to help you kind of tap into that. But first, I'll sing a little chant for y'all. First, yes, I'll sing a little chant for y'all. So I told y'all this particular channel, we talk some things divinity, some things artistry, but it's all for the greater good of our divine artistry. So you're going to get sometimes some performances from me, some monologues from me, some poetry from me, a little singing from me from time to time. So, okay. So this particular chant is actually from the Sacred Soul Chant Choir that I was referring to, that I am a part of. It is a Kemetic, it is an ancient Kemetic chant that basically, so of course, so it's not in English, but the basis of the chant is remembering your connection to God, the source, and understanding that you are a royalty and a king or queen because of this connection to the divine source, right? And this melody is also not mine. This melody was created by Nas Kali of Energy Healing Studio, okay? So let me take a little water up. Just like to get the energy leveled a little bit. Hi, Sandra. Nuk punu ku ame ku kemen keparu im neta nuku e amenu in pu ameku amen ratu aneta aku jasne oh Nuke Punu ku ame ku kemen keparu iem neta nuku e amenu in pu ameku amen ratu aneta aku jasne Yes, so that is a comedic. So chant, like I said, chanting is great. Chanting is awesome. Chanting is based off of, if you understand and actually research the words, if you actually do research, yeah, chocolate syrup. Yeah, okay, yeah. If you actually do research, you will understand what's actually behind the words of any chant. What's actually, behind the meaning, the vibration, the words of any chant. But I love that chant because it just taps me back in and reminds me of who the fuck I am. It taps me back in. And then I also love just the resonance within my body that chant does. And again, that chant is not mine. That is it's a Kemetic chant. It's an ancient Kemetic chant, but the melody of that is Nas Kali of Energy Healing Studio, and that's INNERG, the letter G. So if you noticed when I was singing, right, I was utilizing this. This is a tool right here. This is a tool for me that creates a little bit of extra resonance within my body, right? And so that's what I mean by utilizing the little tools you have to make you feel a little better. Like if I utilize this beating on my chest, this beating on my heart in a rhythmic form. I utilize this when I'm feeling nervous. I utilize this when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I utilize this when I just feel like I want to make sure I'm getting, any, negative or extra energy that may have come in. I'm an empath. So, I do that. I do that extra, that little extra rhythmic beating on my chest just to make sure I am releasing of anything that's trying to block me up of what I am doing. And so this something as simple as that. You don't got to be no singer to do that. You don't got to be, you know what I mean, anything. But how you do it depends on what resonates with you, and that's where the creativity comes in at. Okay, so now we are going to go into a meditation. It's going to be a body scan type meditation. We're going to do a body scan just to kind of tap into our senses, and then after we tap into our senses, then we're going to try a few different tools that we can pull out, that we have within, a few different tools that we already have. Like I said, you got to use what you have to feel what you want, right? And so I'm going to go over some tools, but still kind of still in that meditative state, but go over some tools. Hi, Sterling, how you doing? Go over some tools that we can kind of mull over to see which of these tools feels good within your body. And so the whole point of this particular, the body scan and the sensory and the mulling over of tools, is to tap into your senses, your sensory, and your inner self, so that you're able to feel and hear how tools resonate with you. Even if it was using outside tools, you can feel how these tools resonate with you. But the whole purpose of today's exercise is to understand the tools that you already have within you. Okay, so hold on, let me turn my speaker on. Give me a second, let me turn my speaker on. Okay.
Connected.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go into a meditation, a body scan meditation. Starting out, you can close your eyes. Just shifting the energy a little bit. Shifting the energy a little bit. All right. You can choose to close your eyes. It probably would be more helpful to close your eyes. I know for me, I sometimes close my eyes in meditation, and I sometimes use something to focus on. But since we're on our phones, it's probably not best for you to do that. Or you can put your phone down so you can hear me if you would rather keep your eyes open. And I would first like you to inhale for the count of 7. Hold your breath for the count of 4, and exhale for the count of 9. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I would like you to keeping your eyes closed. I would like you to direct your focus to the bottom of your feet, feeling the sensation that you might feel on the bottom of your feet, feeling the ground underneath your feet. What does the ground feel like? Is it soft? Is it hard? How does it feel? Is it bumpy? Feel and describe the sensation with your feeling. Inhale, exhale. Bring your attention on up past your ankles, directing the attention to your calf muscles and your shins, feeling any sensations that you might have here, any pains that you have here. Breathing into those pains, inhaling and exhaling. Bring your attention further up past your shins on up to your knees, feeling any sensations that you feel, any pain surrounding your knees. If you feel a pain, what does it feel like? Feel the magnitude of this pain. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring your attention up past your knees on up to your thighs. Feeling any pain or sensation or any energetic flow even that you may have going on within your thighs. Feeling out the magnitude of that sensation with your feeling. Inhale and exhale. Bring your attention on up to your hips, feeling on both sides any sensations or tension or even blockage that you may feel in your hip or your womb or growing area. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing that attention on up further to your gut area behind your navel. Feeling any sensation that you might feel within your gut or your tummy. Maybe it's growling. What do you feel there in that area? Describe that sensation. Inhale and exhale. Bring your attention on up past your belly on up towards your heart area. Feel any tightness that you may have in this area. This is usually an area that many people have tightness, especially many artists who may not be tapping into their artistry. Feel tightness in this area. Feel any sensation within this area. Inhale and exhale. Bring your attention on up past your heart, up to your chest and your throat chakra area. Feel any tightness or blockage that you may have in your throat area. Maybe you feel like a bulge within your throat. Describe this feeling, this sensation that you feel. Feel the magnitude of this sensation. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing your attention on up to your nose and your sinus area. Feeling any sensation that you have within that area. Breathing in and out. Bring your attention on up to your forehead or in between your eyes to your third eye chakra. Feeling any sensation or tightness or tingling that may be in that area. This usually happens when you are meditating if you're not an avid meditator. Feel the sensation. Feel the details of the sensation. And inhale, exhale. Bring your attention on up out of the top of your head to your crown chakra. Feel any sensations or tingling that you have at the top of your head. Maybe coming out of your hair follicles. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, with your eyes still closed, I would like you to tap into all of your earthly senses currently. I first want you to feel with your fingertips. Feel maybe the air around your fingertips. What do you feel? Is maybe your hand is sitting on something? Maybe there's nothing around and you just feel the flow of air or wind surrounding your fingertips. Do you feel any tightness at your fingertips? Now I want you to go to what you hear. What do you hear? I'm sure you hear my voice. You're hearing the music that I'm playing. But in your environment, what are you hearing? Detail everything that you're hearing. Maybe you hear some background noise outside, around you, in your neighborhood. Describe what you are hearing. Go to your taste. What are you tasting within your mouth? Maybe you're tasting lunch. Maybe it feels a little dry within your mouth. Whatever it is, describe what that is. Detail the sensation of your taste. Now we go to the sense of smell. And I would like you to detail how or what you are smelling. Even if you think it's nothing, continue to search for it. And there's something that I think you can describe within that sense. Lastly, go to your sense of sight, and even with your eyes closed, describe what you may be seeing. Maybe you see, of course, the back of your eyelids, but maybe you see a light over that. Maybe you see a color, a hue of color on top of that within your eyes. And to take that a bit further, what do you see in your mind's eye? What is a visual that is coming to your mind's eye? Detail everything that you see. Now, I would like for you to come back to the sensation of where you are sitting. Come back to the sensation of your feet planted firmly on the ground. Inhale and exhale. And slowly, when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you all for being here with me, all of you who have joined. We were doing a body scan and a sensory meditation so that we're able to tap into our senses. This is something that I do before I get into my creative zone. This is something that I do before I practice anything that is of my artistry. I get into this meditative state and tap into my senses so that my senses are open and so that I am able to pull in any messages through my senses, and so that I am able to feel anything creatively that may be trying to channel through me, and so that I may also feel within my senses what I do creatively, whether I'm singing, whether I'm writing, or something of that nature. So now is the fun part. And of course, my baby comes in on the fun part. Huh? What you say? Okay. Okay. I'll give you a second. I'll be right back, guys. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. I don't know how to do that. No, I don't think that. Okay, hold on. All right, guys. So I'm gonna have to go because my baby. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'll be back.